everyone. In this video, we are going to go over how to compute a sales budget, a cost of goods sold, inventory, and purchases budget. In this chapter, we are talking about a master budget. So a lot of times students think, oh, master budget, that's one budget. That's a series of budgets. So the budget that's always completed first is the sales budget. Those figures come from the marketing department. So the marketing department would come up with those estimates of what they're anticipating for sales, and they would bring that to the accounting department, okay? And then the manager is going to make decisions off of those numbers. So this particular problem, it states that Quinn Company sells mobile phones worldwide. The company expects to sell 4,600 mobile phones for $160 each in January. So $160 each, 4,600. February, they anticipate the selling price of $190, and they're going to sell 4,000. Quinn expects the cost of goods sold to average 50% of sales revenue. Okay, we'll need that later on. The company also expects to sell 4,200 mobile phones in March. All right, so they're asking us to compute a sales budget for January and February. There must be a reason they're giving us March, but I can't think of that right now. All right, so we're going to prepare the sales budget for January and February. All right, so here's all we're going to do. We're going to take 160 and we're going to multiply it by 4,600. So the total sales dollars for this particular month is 736,000. For February, we're going to take 190 times 4,000. So the sales dollars for February are 760,000. Okay? Then we're just going to total these two together, and that will give us for the total for January and February, which is 1,496,000. Okay? So that's it for the sales budget. Okay. Now we're going to go over the next budgets. Here's what I want you to get. The sales and the cost of goods sold, inventory, and purchase budgets are all dollar figures. I will teach you another budget, which is just units, but this is dollar figures. Okay, so also before we begin, if it's been a while that you've had accounting, you need to understand the inventory account. The inventory account is a permanent account, which means it does not get closed to zero. It's going to carry a balance from period to period. So your ending balance for your inventory will be your beginning balance for your inventory. So in January, your ending balance in January will be your beginning balance for February, $4. Okay? All right, so now let's look at this particular problem. This second part is a little bit trickier, that we have to look at the information they gave us. All right, so let's start. It says Quinn expects cost of goods sold to average 50% of sales revenue. Okay, that's not hard, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take sales and we're going to multiply it by 50%. So for January, my cost of goods sold figure is $368,000. Okay. For February, I'm going to take $760,000 and multiply that also by 50%, and that will give me $380,000. Okay, so that's my cost of goods sold figure. All right, the desired ending inventory, it's going to make us work. All right, so the company, all right, so let me read what it says. Quinn's target ending inventory is $15,000, so $15,000 plus 60% of the next month's cost of goods sold. Okay, so for this one, it's not too bad. So here's all I'm going to do. I'm going to take 50% of the $380,000. I multiply that by 50%, and then I add in my 15,000. And that is going to give me 243,000. Okay, so my desired ending inventory for the month of January is 243,000. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to figure out the total inventory required. I'm going to take 368 plus 243, and that's going to give me 611,000. Okay, all right, now I need to subtract out the beginning inventory. Okay, well, I look at this problem and they didn't give it to us. They're going to make us figure it out. So let me read it. Quinn's target ending inventory is 15,000 plus 60% of the next month's cost of goods sold. Okay, so the next month, right, for December was January. So what was the cost of goods sold? It was 368,000. All right, so where can I show you this? Give me a minute. All right, so I'm going to show you how to get this ending inventory. Here it is. I'm going to put it right here, okay? All right, so we're going to take 15,000. That's a dollar figure. And we're going to add 60%. Let me show you how you get it. 368,000 times 60%. Okay, so that equals 220,800. Okay, and now we'll just add the 15,000 plus. So 15,000 plus 220,800 gives you 235,800. That's your beginning inventory. It was your end for December. So remember, your ending is always your beginning. So I go over here and I just put in that number. Why don't I mark it blue so you can clearly see where I got that number? Okay, 235,800. All right, and then we're going to draw a line. So now we're going, and you're going to subtract that number. So the amount of inventory to purchase is 372,500. That is a dollar figure. I got to subtract out my beginning inventory because I had some inventory still left. So the amount required is 611, but I still had some, so I want to subtract that. Okay, so that's how you would do January. All right, February. So now we're going to go through February. We're going to take, we already did the cost of goods sold. Okay, the desired ending inventory. All right, that we got to do some work. All right, so let me draw the blue again. All right, so I'm going to go over here and let me draw a line and I'm going to show you how you do that. All right, so now this one we got to do a lot of work. All right, so the company, so they gave us March sales and they needed to because we have to figure out the cost of goods sold, and the desired ending inventory is always 60% of the next month's cost of goods sold. All right, so let's go over here. Here's March sales. Okay, I'm going to take 4,200 times the selling price of 240. That gives me 1,000,008. Remember, that is the sales figure. Next, I'm going to figure out the cost of goods sold, COGS. I'm going to multiply this 50%. Oops. Okay, so that ends up being 504,000. I already put my decimal in. All right, so there's my COGS. Okay, now for the desired ending inventory, it is 60% of the next month's cost of goods sold. So now I'm going to take the 504,000 and I'm going to multiply it by 0.60. I like decimals. 504 times 0.60 gives me 302,400. Okay, and then I got to add, remember it also said plus 15,000. So I add the 15,000, and that's how I get 317,400. Okay? All right, so 317,400 is my ending inventory, my desired ending inventory. Okay, so now I'm going to take those two numbers and I'm going to add those together, and that's going to give me 697,400. Okay, my beginning inventory in this particular instance is easier because I have it. Here's my ending inventory. It will always be my corresponding beginning inventory in the next month. So I got 243. Let me just draw an arrow so you can see that. And then I've got the parentheses. And now I'm down, it's 454,400 okay, is the amount of inventory to purchase. So that took us some time to get there. Make sure you understand each piece. Don't memorize or you will get it incorrect. Make sure you understand. Ending inventory from a prior period will be your beginning inventory in the next period. Okay, you just have to read the particulars of what they're saying for this particular budget. Okay, and that's it. All right, so get in the lab.